Hi guys, welcome to Maybe News. Today I've made you a video with 10 facts about money. If you like this video, give it a thumb up and subscribe our channel. Let's get started. 10. Coins in US have ridges to protect against counterfeiting. Most of us use coins to purchase items from vending machines, or we throw them in a bank to save for a rainy day. But coins have a fascinating history. Did you ever wonder why the quarter has those ridges on the edge? They were created to prevent counterfeiting. And yes, even back in those gentler times of colonial America, there were improvising criminals trying to counterfeit money. These counterfeiters would shave the edges of coins because they were made of silver and gold. A $10 gold piece was made with $10 worth of gold. To make a little extra money, people would shave the edges of the coins and collect the metal. If done well enough, the smaller coins would not be noticed by merchants, and they in effect would get less than $10 in gold for a purchase. This gave the counterfeiter extra gold or silver to make into more coins. But today the ridges remain as a form of braille for the seeing impaired. There are 119 grooves on the edge of a quarter. 9. Currency bills are dirty. This goes for every nation on earth that has a form of paper money, and this currency collects everything it comes in contact with. Money touches dirty hands, trucks, and any number of random surfaces. The currency then stays in circulation for more than 18 months. The older the bill, the more contaminants that are present, including Salmonella and E. coli. Bills that are printed on primarily cotton material were found to have the highest levels of bacteria, where those created of newer, slicker polymers had the least. There is no one checking where your money has been, so you should be wary of how dirty your bills are. 8. More people have fantasies about money than sex. Each bill is said to have a story: who held it, what it purchased, and who might have saved it. A lot of history, economics, and politics follow the money, everywhere. Money has become the thing most sought out by many. A survey recently included that Americans have more fantasies about money than sex. It also found that your odds of winning the lottery are roughly 10 millions to 1. Still, that chance exists, and for many the lure of the money is worth the odds. 7. The British pound is the world's oldest currency. The British pound sterling is the world's oldest currency, dating back to Anglo-Saxon times. Before guineas were retired in 1860, it was convention for tradesmen to be paid in pounds, and gentlemen in guineas. Incidentally, Queen Elizabeth II has appeared on more currency than anyone else, on that of over 30 countries to date. 6. Paper money originated from China. Paper bills were first used by the Chinese, who started carrying folding money during the Tang Dynasty, mostly in the form of privately issued bills of credit or exchange notes, and used it for more than 500 years before the practice began to catch on in Europe in the 17th century. While it took another century or two for paper money to spread to the rest of the world, China was already going through a fairly advanced financial crisis. The production of paper notes had grown until their value plummeted, prompting inflation to soar. As a result, China eliminated paper money entirely in 1455 and wouldn't adopt it again for several hundred years. 5. 1 in a million. The largest banknote ever, issued by the Bank of England, was £1 million note, issued in 1948 as a temporary measure during the post-war reconstruction in the Marshall Plan. Designed for use by the US government only, the notes were cancelled after just a few months, allowing very few to escape into private hands. But just because the notes are out of service doesn't mean they're valueless. In 2008, one of two known surviving notes fetched almost $120,000 at auction. 4. The origin of dollar sign. No one knows the origin of the dollar sign, but the US Bureau of Engraving and Printing has a pretty good guess. The government agency responsible for designing and printing all those crisp dollar bills says the design originally used to denote Spanish and Mexican pesos came to be written such that the S was on the top of the P. The symbol was widely used before the 1875 issue of the first US paper dollar, and in case you ever noticed, it doesn't actually appear on the US currency at all. 3. Stones as money. Micronesia money are large stones which value can be affected by the number of people who died transporting them. Still used in Micronesia today, rye stones are large stone discs, often too heavy to be easily moved, so transactions are recorded as oral history. The value of each rye could be affected by the number of people who died transporting them. 2. Australia introduced the first polymer banknote in 1988. These banknotes are made from polymers, like biaxially oriented polypropylene, which give the notes much more durability versus the cloth notes used by most countries. Polymer notes were created to lower the cost of production, but they also reduce the environmental impact of producing currency, and lengthen the time before they needed replacement. 1. Early currencies were metals used as receipts that represented stored commodities such as grain. This system was used in early Mesopotamia, but collapsed due to the currency only being as strong as the forces protecting the commodities. In other words, even in the earliest days, currency's value is tied to the strength of the government that issues it. There had to be grains backing the currency. And that's all for today. Thanks guys for watching, and if you have any ideas for the next episode, you can write them in the comment section below. See you in the next episode.